Big thank you to Unilad and everyone who's watching my story on Unilad's channel. The video is unbelievable story of an Ecstasy Kingpin. We're at about 400,000 views right now. I've had about 5,000 new subscribers in the last week. Appreciate that. So I thought it was time to respond to some of the comments on that video. This dude is going to be assassinated soon. You should know better than be so descriptive of the people involved. Well, my new Mexican Mafia associates, I'm still in touch with my G-Dog friend out there who introduced me to his brothers who were in the MA, and G-Dog's all good. I've got no beef with them. I haven't named any names, so there's no legal repercussions. As far as Sammy the Bull Gravano is concerned, you know, his family have gone to Hollywood. Mob Wives, Karen Gravano was one of the stars of Mob Wives. Sammy the Bull got released last year. I spoke to his son on email and there's no beefs there either. So I haven't written anything that's going to cause me to get whacked as I'm coming out of my house. A lot of people giving me a shout out because they saw me do a visit at the school, put it in the comments. Appreciate that. If you want to say what schools you're at and stuff like that in future comments, that would be great as well. It's always good to see where you saw me do my talk. Negotiated ecstasy price down to $3 or less a hit. Is that supposed to be cheap? The market rates are this, blah 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 blah. What a lot of people don't understand is I was dealing ecstasy in the late 1990s. The street price in Phoenix, Arizona was $25 to $30. And if you're getting it below $3, well, you do the math. But I was actually getting so many in, I was fronting them out to my middlemen at $10 a pill. So if I get 40,000 hits, less than $3, sell them at 10, hey, still $250,000. Then they give them to their dealers who sell them at the street price of 25, 30. Prisoner beheading another prisoner, using a shovel, never heard of that. Well, there is a thing called a work crew in Arizona prison, and that is how they have access to shovels. So anything the prisoners can get access to gets weaponized. Fake as fuck story doesn't add up. Like, nearly all the comments are positive. Every now and then you do get one of these, and I just take that as a sign of success. You're going to always attract some weirdos. But the people who say it doesn't add up never say why it doesn't add up. If you tell me why it doesn't add up, I will respond in the comments and set the record straight. This guy was not a kingpin. Did he fund a lot of it? Probably. He was the money guy. He's got the prison stuff down though. You know, you got a point there. I was called the Bank of England by the ravers. When I first started out in Arizona, different cliques were coming to me asking me to invest in their parties. These were competing groups and I unified a lot of them, and that's how my organisation ended up with about 200 people working for me at the peak. I look like Jeff Bezos slanging dope. Anyone know how long his sentence was? Sentenced to 9.5 years as a first-time non-violent drug offender. I served just under 6. Found Shaun via his TED Talks. I'll put the TED Talks in the information box below this video if you want to watch them. Inspirational stuff. A lot of people asking about my books. My books, I've got almost 10 true crime books now available on Amazon worldwide. My life story is Party Time, Hard Time New Edition, and Prison Time. If you go to my website, you can download Hard Time for free, read it on any device. I'll put the link in the information box below this video. Did they take his money or was it safe? My vote is it's safe. I thought I was smarter than the cops. Flew people out, put money in their names. Cops put a virus in my computer, NetBus Trojan Horse, showed them everywhere I had my money. So they took absolutely everything except for my sunglasses collection. Yes, these are Kieselstein cords, almost $1,000 a pair. I had 10 pairs of sunglasses back then that cost 10 grand. Yep, almost $1,000 a pair. They love me at the optical shop of Aspen in Scottsdale, Bogota. I get high break my sunglasses, and because I was such a good customer, they were like, "Oh, no worries, we'll just give you a new pair." Like, I got brand new pairs all the time. It's crazy. So yeah, the police took all my money. Only thing that survived was my Kieselstein cords. $3 a pill. I get them for 90p in the UK. Dude got scammed hard. They're this price, they're this price. Go back to 1997, I wasn't getting scammed hard. That's what the prices were back then. Good doc, I confirm this is all true, not just a story. This is Peter Mahoney, Wild Man. Wild Man's getting really popular on my YouTube channel these days. Appreciate everybody supporting him. And we're hoping to get both of us on the True Geordie podcast later this year. I think that would be awesome. Found Shaun on True Geordie. Saw him on Locked Up Abroad. My Locked Up Abroad, Banged Up Abroad episode is Raving Arizona. In America it's called Locked Up Abroad. In the UK it's called Banged Up Abroad. Saw you on After Prison Show. After Prison Show video is what it's like being a millionaire in prison. Do the numerology on the guy's name. I suppose to believe it's a coincidence, give me a break. He is at the very least a secret society agent. He should do an 11-10 minute video on his secret background. I think that would be more interesting. Does Attwood really need 2 T's? Nice try. You know what, I love conspiracy theories. I've written a book called American Made about a CIA cocaine flying pilot. Really blows the movie wide open. Movie was just a smokescreen, just a comical whitewash of what the CIA gets up to. So, but this conspiracy theory about my name is a bit out there. Guy came to my school in Chelmsford. He's a YouTuber. It should be a movie. Says he's a stockbroker, then admits to cold calling 500 people a day. Oh, that kind of stockbroker. Well, how are you going to get your clients? Stockbroking, it's just glorified telesales. Movie material, very sobering. Much more detail in the 2 episodes of the True Geordie podcast. I've done 2 True Geordie podcasts. I'll put the links in the information box before this video. You will get a hell of a lot more detail in those. Some very good reasons to stay out of prison. Wonder if it would have been preferred to transfer to a British prison. It's a different world in America with all the gangs. Well, I live with Mike Hot Wheels, formerly my Ecstasy supplier out of LA, and he did transfer over to a UK prison, and he said it's just hardcore drug use like it is in America. The violence and the rape stuff isn't as extreme in the UK. The gang culture isn't as extreme, but it still isn't a walk in the park either. Over 100 prisoners have killed themselves in the last year in the UK prison system. Why are all these drug kingpins sorry about what they have done? Why is they not say they're proud of their career? Well, I try and restore my karma by speaking to young people. But if you see Wild Man on his videos, he's not saying he's sorry, he's saying he enjoyed every minute. This is all made up and fake. He's watched way too many movies. It's all rehearsed. He ain't never busted a grape in a food fight. Don't believe any of this made up bullshit for views. Wow. So I've never even been to prison according to this guy. And there's a few others that have said that as well. Which kind of ecstasy was I selling? Back then, Mitsubishi pills, you know, the beige pills, 100, 125 milligrams of pure MDMA, Euro dollars, Teletubbies, none of that coloured pill crap with the fake ingredients in it that causes the chaos. Sammy the Bull's crew was sweating me to actually try and sell their pills at one point. They were coloured pills, and when I refused, after that they knocked the teeth out. That was when they knocked the teeth out of one of my top salesperson. He gave a speech at my school and I won a signed book. Glad you did. That was probably a hard time. He didn't need the money, he just got caught up in the life. That is so true. The lifestyle, being a character in the scene, throwing raves, thousands of people, your bouncers are running around, you get this power charge. People say, you know, why would you do it if you got all these money dealing ecstasy? Well, look at Pablo Escobar, he was worth billions. His brother said, why don't we just buy our own island and kick back and relax? Pablo's like, what? You want me just to lie back on an island on a deck chair, sipping a drink, when I'm running this multi-billion-dollar drug organization? Yeah, and look where that got him, killed in his early 40s. Pedos never make it to the general population. The white supremacists are the smallest group in the jail. Mexican mafia runs everything in the US jail system. Now that depends upon which state you're in, and whether you're in state prison or federal prison or the remand jail. So there are some pedos in the remand jails who do make it in the general population. They go undercover because they don't want to have their privileges restricted. And one of my neighbours was one of those guys, and he's the one who went to court one day. They saw him on the TV, what he'd done. When he came back, they tortured him for 30 minutes. He was covered in blood from head to toe. He was unrecognisable. Don't involve yourself with the mafia. They will hunt you down until the day they kill you. This is true. Don't get gangsteritis. Keep your day jobs. Real gangsters prey on people who've got gangsteritis, and often they end up taking swan dives off buildings or getting buried out in the desert. Any videos of the shovel thing? No, of course there's not videos of the shovel thing. Prisons do not advertise the violence that goes on in there. They keep it's like a closed world. They don't tell the media anything. Some people have said, well, these stories haven't been reported in the media. The last thing the prison wants is the media to find these things out. That's how they get away with a lot of the stuff that goes on in there. Story from Banged Up Abroad paints a very different picture. This bloke story keeps changing, and so does his sweet book and interviews. All I can say to that is, this Unilad video is 12 minutes long. My True Geordie podcasts are over 2 hours long each. My life story is a trilogy of books, Hard Time, Party Time, Prison Time, is 30 plus hours of audiobooks. My Banged Up Abroad episode was 45 minutes. There is literally so much content out there. You could make multiple Netflix series out of my story. So when I say something within a 45-minute documentary or a 12-minute video, and you say all this other stuff was said in a different video, it's because I don't have time to put it in there. And I didn't in my Banged Up Abroad episode, I wasn't able to choose what they actually put in. They actually condensed some of what I told them. I thought Sammy tried to extort you and pull a mafia wannabe sit down. I saw your story on Locked Up Abroad. There was no mention of the new MA, or am I wrong? Yeah, in Locked Up Abroad, Banged Up Abroad, they showed me buying the Ecstasy in Los Angeles, and then I went through to the Ecstasy dealer's house kitchen. The new Mexican mafia was sat in his kitchen with the rocket propelled grenade launcher on the TV. So that was an example of National Geographic condensing two scenes. The new Mexican mafia were actually in Phoenix, Arizona. They weren't in the kitchen of my Ecstasy supplier out of LA. There's holes in your story. You don't bring your charge sheet into jail with you. He would have had to prove his charges to those Nazis in another way. Utter, complete and utter nonsense. In Phoenix, Arizona, Maricopa County Jail, they issue you a charge sheet, and the gang want to see your charge sheet, or they give you so long to see your legal paperwork. And people can accuse other people of like being a child molester and stuff, and the response is, show us the paperwork. You've got to get paperwork on someone before you can make allegations of their crimes, and they want to see your own paperwork as well. Maybe it's different in the state you're from, but don't judge your state by Arizona. He was never a kingpin. What the hell? This is clickbait. Come on, Arizona doesn't have the country's toughest prison. It might be in the top, but not the toughest. It's behind Rikers Island. Well, I've got news for you. The Maricopa County Jail in Phoenix, Arizona, where I was housed for 26 months fighting my case, has got the highest rate of death in America. According to Nat Geo, around over 5 years I was there, 60 plus people died in that jail. So, does that make it the toughest? Guards murdering mentally ill prisoners? Gang members murdering prisoners? I'll put the videos, links in the See More box below this video. Some people have asked about my investments in the stock market and have sent me emails asking for the stock market book. There's one book on the stock market that will teach you a method to buy shares that are going to go up in price. send me an email. I'll gladly send you the link to that book on Amazon. Right now I'm 100% long Canadian cannabis shares. There's a big vote going down on June 7th, and they're going to keep running. Right now, Afria is my biggest position, APH on the Toronto Stock Exchange, but I'm also into HMMJ.to, which is like a basket of cannabis shares, and CRON, CRON, is on the NASDAQ in America, but it's a Canadian company. Weed is the symbol for one. They're going to list on the New York Stock Exchange here at the end of this month. That's going to make that one keep flying. If you get into Canadian cannabis shares now before June 7th, you're going to do alright. And if you're interested in that, send me an email. Email's at my contact box at my website, ShaunAttwood.com, or it's attwood.shaun@hotmail.co.uk. And I'll send you a list of all of the cannabis shares I'm in, because you can make a serious amount of money off this. Serious amount of money. It's the end of weed prohibition. If you'd have put money in at the end of alcohol prohibition, you would have gone on to be a multimillionaire. Right, I think I've answered the major comments now, everything that I can see. Is this verified? Why would he be millionaire deal drugs? Already answered that one. You can just go on my wiki page, look at all the BBC articles, you'll see this stuff's been documented over the years. Find it odd that the guy got the connections to the mafia by opening a door and letting one of them into the apartment to hide from the cops. How is that protecting him so much he deserves to hook up with the mafia? Sounds fishy to me. He's talking about G-Dog. We were at an apartment party. I'm the ecstasy dealer. G-Dog, whose brothers are in the New Mexican mafia, comes over with the weed and the coke. Cop walks in, says he could smell weed, nobody moved. G-Dog pulls a gun at the cop. The only one not leaving is you, motherfucker. We protected G-Dog that night when the police were looking for him everywhere. That's how I ended up getting protected by the New Mexican mafia. Even if drugs didn't exist, there would be prisons full of violent and despicable human beings. Yeah, there will be violent offenders if drugs didn't exist. I say, end the war on drugs, stop throwing kids in prison for weed, because that's what it boils down to. Almost 1 million arrests here in America, young people getting thrown in for weed. I saw black kids and Mexican kids get 2 to 5 years for joints of weed. It's all a big racist scam on the taxpayers, because these private prisons get $50,000 a year of taxpayers' money. Alright then, I shall be posting more videos of Wild Man after some filming we're going to do in June. And again, I appreciate everyone subscribing and commenting, and a lot of my videos, especially stuff about T-Bone and Wild Man, going viral on the channel right now. So if you've got any more questions, just post them in the comments section. Take care.